Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with the E-Times. I'm talking now to Artis Pabriks, who's the head of the Military Technology Organization for Latvia, but actually that's not properly described. Artis, hello, and tell me a little bit about the Miltech organization you're heading up.
Yes, hello. I am at this moment CEO of the new association created particularly for Latvian industry, military industry, first of all drones, robotics and new technologies. We are a new organization and I was invited to head it because of my previous experience as a foreign and defense minister of Latvia. In our association we have now more than 40 members. We are growing fast, just like Latvian drone and robotics industry is growing fast.
Now basically it represents the whole of the drone and robotics industry, so that's air, sea, land, everything, and you've got everything from the technologies, the chip makers, up to the system makers, is that right?
It's correct. Yes, we do have all types of drones and autonomous vehicles, not just air, which are the most popular maybe, but also we have at least 4 companies dealing with sea drones. We have land solutions. We also have ammunition companies. We have plane producers, ultralight planes. We have also car industry, but very much it is associated with new technologies. And of course, the second layer of companies which provide services for these industries like chip makers or electronics or IT solutions.
And what's been the key objective? I think the key objective for you is because of this interest now in sort of military drone technology, for you to help represent these companies to get noticed amongst organizations around the world so that they can sell their products. Is that right?
It's a good question. Well, first of all, we want that our country is safe, and as I say, we in the industry, we want to give this ability, and then our armed forces can turn our ability, industrial ability, into their military capabilities. But of course, as a small country, we need a better representation globally. We are very much also export orientated, and we seek cooperation with foreign investors, with foreign like-minded countries and companies for common markets, for common production, because the development, the speed of development in this type of industry is enormously fast, partly, unfortunately, due to the Russian invasion in Ukraine.
And referring to that, I think there's been capability for a while in Latvia, but the pace of innovation just accelerated since that invasion because there's been a need for that technology. Is that right?
Very much, because if you remember the Russian invasion in 2022 February, there were only few drones or autonomous vehicles in those days around. Now, if you look what is happening in the front line, what is happening also in the skies of Europe, where suddenly drones appear over airfields and other things. Nobody could imagine this in 2022. So this happened within 3 years. And we need to create here answers, also very much answers within industrial production. And this is what we do.
And I think one of the examples you quoted me earlier was how you set up very early on the test bed to test the drones with LMT.
Yes, we know from also military experience and also from ancient writings, starting with Sun Tzu and others, that ordinary analysts deal with tactics and strategists deal with logistics. And in our case, 5G and one of our largest Latvian mobile telephone company, one of the largest members, they actually with support and assistance and in cooperation with our government, already some 5-6 years ago, they created the first 5G test ground for military autonomous solutions in Latvia. It was first in Europe. Now, of course, many others start to enjoy this. So 5G technologies, communications, that is where we try to be experts.
And I think this, because we're speaking here at the Techratory Forum in Riga, which happens every year, and I think I've seen some of those in the exhibition area earlier, where you've got the what do you call it, UGVs to go into the dead zones. Oh, sorry, where then they can bring people, ammunition, etc.
Yes, and you, in order to operate them, you need communication solutions. And this is where different other companies can enjoy, because it's engaged, because it's not only about technical part, about engine or battery or even optics, but you need different type of connectivities, which is a huge challenge actually in current days.
And what would you say, are there any sort of highlights of companies or things that have happened since you've set up this organization that you've noticed and you thought, wow, this is something I never knew, or something that is important?
I would say, what are the challenges? Because many of these companies are very new companies, they're startups. And military or companies dealing with defense, these are companies which deal or work under the very regulated rules and markets. They cannot simply go out on the street and sell frequently their goods. So that would mean that we need a cooperation with government. And usually those bottleneck issues in every country, it is startup financing. It is bureaucracy, because regulations are not in place in most of countries which would fit to the current global challenges. And of course procurement, because procurement, if you do not have procurement with the governments, then you have nowhere to sell, and then you cannot also develop your technologies, because you cannot invest just for your own pleasure.
And are you seeing, when you say nowhere to sell, are you seeing a lot of interest from global military organizations which are looking for some of this expertise that you've gained?
Oh yes, I would say without overstating our importance. Yes, we are a small country. Yes, our industry is not very large, but because of our geography, because of the challenges, we frequently saw those threats and challenges coming earlier than many of our allied partners in Western Europe or even across the Atlantic. And that means that we are in many ways also test ground for different ideas. We are the place where we can introduce our European partners with the things we have been working already for a number of years, and they only start to do it now. And this is not just about technologies, because this is also, as far as this is a regulated market, it is also about different type of rules of engagement, regulations and laws, which we already had to pass some years ago, and which other countries are just discussing at this stage.
And I guess your experience previously as Deputy Prime Minister, Defence Minister, I think you've got a lot of experience in marrying some of those issues with what industry is needing.
True, because I basically see those challenges from both sides. Yeah. I have this capability, if I may say so, of this empathy to understand how bureaucracy thinks, how politicians think, and how industry and business people think. And then at the end, what people need.
Yeah. So, and what about, what are the things that maybe internationally and around US and globally that maybe something that you think should be highlighted about what you're doing?
Well, as one of my very close friends was once telling, you see, if you are an elephant, you don't need to learn martial arts. But if you're a small one, you have to be smarter, faster, and punch above your weight. And we as Latvia, we are such a country which tries also, as far as industry, robotics and technologies, to punch above our weight and to give a friendly offer to our allies, either across the ocean, across the Atlantic, or in Europe, to engage with us and see what we can do together, because we have ideas, we have offers, and you have larger capabilities. Let's unite that.
Well, Atis, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.